This episode is sponsored in part by PTZ Optics. Why hire a camera operator when the control is in your hands? Visit ptzoptics.com for more information. And by NewTek, makers of the TriCaster TC1. Stun your viewers, not your accountant. Visit newtek.com for more information.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Game Time. This is episode 20. I'm surprised we made it this far, and we're glad that you guys would come out here to talk about. Honestly, we don't have a lot in the home arcade market to talk about tonight, but we do have a lot with gaming, and we hope you guys are along for the ride. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have some fun, but before we get going, I know this is what everybody's waiting for. We got to address the elephant in the room, and this is not to continue the drama. This is not to continue anything. We're going to be short and sweet. There's no issue between us and Glenn. Glenn, everybody's been seeing what's been happening all this week. We don't want to be the downer on the show. And Glenn has, obviously, he's had some issues. We all saw his video. And he came to us and he's like, look, guys, I just can't do the show anymore. I can't talk about Arcade 1-Up. I just can't do it. We stand behind him as the guy. He brought me into the fold back in 2018. I respect the man. I appreciate everything he's done for the community. And we wish him the best. You know, the old guy show is going to continue. He's gonna tear that up. And, you know, we've told him he's welcome to come back here as a guest from time to time if he feels up to it. But we're not going to pressure him. You know, this is something he has to do, and we appreciate it. There's tons of videos out there. There's tons of rebuttals. We've supported him a lot behind the scenes, so we felt there was no need to really keep this going. Let's get back to what we do and what we love to do, and that's gaming. That's why you guys are all here, and that's kind of why I titled tonight, Let's Talk. Who wants to talk about gaming? Let's talk about gaming. You guys want to talk about gaming? I want to talk about gaming. That's
meow.
This is what I look for. Yeah. Let's talk. Wait, let's first talk about Jayde.
No, I want to talk about knitting. Can we talk about knitting?
Well, somebody said they wanted to talk about mulching. I'm like, guys, it's snowing outside. Jayde, I want to talk about these. What's with the headset here? They look like the ears are like glowing and lit up and what?
Niku.
Did you break your headset?
As
what
my
happened?
kids would do. No, so check it out though. They're Razor Kraken Kitty.
I mean, they work for you.
They're actually Razor.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they work for you, but I mean, yeah, Bill, I don't see us.
I think I'm going to get a pair for next time.
Are you really? Listen, you get a. If you get a pair of them, I will super chat you a $10 tip if you do that.
Ears, though.
I will.
You know, they have these in black, Bill. They really do.
So somebody here, Matt Astor Gaming. Let's pull this up really quick. We have some things to talk about, but I like this because he says right now, he said, let's talk about the Last of Us TV series. I have yet to watch it because a friend of ours.
No spoilers, please.
Yeah, no spoilers because a friend of ours doesn't have HBO, and we told her we'd watch it with her, but we were so tempted we wanted to watch it. Let's get the consensus.
I was supposed to watch the first episode last night with my daughter, and then she got into playing Valorant. We didn't get a chance to watch it. So hopefully this weekend, we're going to sit and watch the first one. We both played through both games. We love the game. Supposedly the show is like super close to the games. I am so excited to see it.
So anybody in the chat room that's seen it?
Jayde could care less, apparently.
How do you not like The Last of Us? Guys in the chat room, if you've seen it,
I like.
Is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Jayde, did you watch it?
No.
I hate you.
No, I love the game, okay? I love the game, The Last of Us, but I don't want to see a TV show about it. That is just the game on a TV show. Like, what?
Oh, no, wait a second. I disagree, because I heard that they did this really well, and it was they even used the original voice actors for the clickers. But MG says, let's not talk about it because my wife has to watch everything with me and then never has the time.
Yeah.
Well, I heard, MG, you actually ordered the DVD set right from the company, and it's
you pre-ordered
it.
He
pre-ordered it
direct.
You pre-ordered it direct, so you're going to be waiting even longer than all of us to see it. I mean, that's what I heard. Now, somebody in the chat room told me that. I don't know if it's true or not. You guys know? You guys heard that, right?
I heard he bought it on Laserdisc.
Laserdisc, yes.
Ooh, Laserdisc.
Yes.
Is it a double-sided player? That's the question.
Thumbs up.
Oh, wait. You know what, guys? Before we get too carried away, I think there's one important matter that we have to address.
And what is that?
Well, it's the elephant in the room, which is hashtag free MK4.
Yes.
You're welcome, Zohar.
Samson just said on Facebook, he just said, he goes, any news on new arcade 1-ups coming out? The only thing we know is right now is the Star Wars. That's going to be, that's obviously out. And if you guys remember last week, we all told you, we said, I don't know, the guys that were buying them, what was it, Best Buy, that took some of their old stock and put it out. We were like, I don't know if I would have bought those.
Someone made a video. Mm-hmm. Someone made a video out of that. And I was like, well, at least you got a good deal on it.
He got a good deal on it. So we know that's coming.
$449, right?
Yeah. MK4, listen, it's picking up traction. I've seen a bunch of other celebrities Zohar managed to get. But I actually,
a petition. If you guys haven't signed the petition, you should sign the petition.
I think he's in the chat room. He can put the link in the chat. It should
I
post
think
the link.
I think it already beat the Qbert petition, didn't it?
I believe it did. So
he was saying that in the chat. So yeah.
So if you're Mortal Kombat 4,
yeah,
if you're Mortal Kombat 4, you can get that. But I'll tell you, I actually did buy another cabinet this week. Walmart had the classic Dig Dug cabinet for $2.99, and I picked it up. It'll be here tomorrow, and it's going to replace my OG first-gen Galaga because that only has 2 games on it, and the other one has Dig Dug, it has Galaga, it's got all the Pac-Mans that the other one doesn't have. My Pac-Man only has like 2 or 3 games on it. So I'm going to give that to the kids at the church too. So we're slowly building their arcade. So I figured this is a way that I can get rid of some of the older ones that they'll only play it like once a week for like an hour or 2, so they'll last forever, and I can start making room for some of these new gen cabinets to really fill out the arcade here. So, but I like the Dig Dug cabinet. I thought it looked really well.
Is it my turn yet?
Yes. What did you buy? What did you buy? Tell us what you bought.
My name is Jade.
You have a problem. We know.
I have a problem.
One of many. You tell me you bought another arcade, I'm gonna smack you.
My problem is I didn't buy a cab at all.
Why not?
I don't know. I mean, it's just been so alluring lately that it's.
You told me you were going to buy that and then you were going to build it.
I was honestly too busy working on my Capcom cab this week, so.
So what were you doing with the Capcom cab, or is that for later on in the show? Is that what the video is and everything? So I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, no. I mean, I was just basically, getting and I'm going to talk about it later, but basically getting it set up so that my PS4 that has been sitting inside of there since I put it together will actually work in conjunction with my X-Arcade tank stick.
MG, man, what is this? Boy. He's like, I'm out here collecting all the crap screen cabinets. It does have a bad screen on it, but here's the thing. You're going to be right in front of it, and I might be able to swap it out with a BOE down the road.
Wait, you're keeping it in your house, or it's going to the church?
No, I'm keeping the Dig Dug in the house. I'm giving the Galaga. The Galaga doesn't have a BOE in it. That one looks so washed out, it's not even funny. So for me, this is going to be an upgrade.
Just get one of your BOE vert monitors and just.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. Down the road because it's the same.
Don't tell me what you're not worried about.
I'm not worried about it. Listen here, Jade.
Oh boy.
We're gonna cancel Jade.
I'm glad I'm in the middle of YouTube.
That's right.
Now.
That's right. You need
a buffer.
We need a buffer.
It is.
Listen.
It's your fault, Bill.
Listen. I didn't have any coffee. My coffee's gone. I don't know if my wife is watching. I need some more coffee.
Oh my god! I left my coffee on the brewer.
And it's gonna be burnt.
I can smell it. I can smell it.
You better go grab it. Yes, Scott James in the chat room.
That's why I have bourbon.
Listen to you.
When I do this with my cat ears.
Oh boy.
I look very catty.
You look like Destiny FOMO.
So I'll take that as a compliment.
So Scott James goes, Dig Dug is so underrated. I agree with you. I like Dig Dug, and I wanted this cabinet since day one, but I don't believe, and I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I don't believe it was worth like this almost $700.
Wait,
that
I'm
it
sorry.
was.
What?
When it first came out on Walmart, our Walmart had it for $6.99, and then they dropped it to $5.99. Then it went down to $4.99. But yeah, when it first came out, it was $6.99.
that's
I would have never
insane.
paid that.
You know what the best? You know what the best cabinet with Dig Dug is on it? The Miss Pac-Man 40th anniversary cocktail cab.
I don't
Head
like
to
the
head.
cocktail cabinets.
You know,
I'm
you know
too tall.
why? It's better. It's actually better than the stand-up 40th anniversary. They use two different emulation sets, and the one that doesn't have online play runs like flawlessly, but the one that's in the 40th anniversary runs pretty crappily.
Yeah. Well, it was either that or the class of 80. What was it? The class of 85, whatever. Class of 82. Whatever.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I'm doing it
Class
to piss
of
you off.
81.
No, it's the class of 82 and 85. Listen,
The year I was born.
that cabinet also was going for almost $700 too, and I'm like, I mean, like I would replace it out, but I did spend a lot of money. My son and I, we had some Christmas money, and we both bought. You guys saw my unboxing today. If you didn't, I'm shilling it right now. I picked this up. I don't know.
Wow, you had that ready to go. Look at that.
Look at that. It's all
Holy
check that out.
lighting.
So a lot of guys were saying, man, $200 for that is a lot of money, and I would agree with you. And I got to spend a week or a week and a half with it before I do a review. But I can understand why, at least the cost is, because of all the extra pieces that come with it that are metal. It's not cheap. There's magnets in it when you attach it. So I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying, so far, I've never bought a Pro controller before, and this was a time where it looked really good. I love the PlayStation controller. It's my favorite controller of all, Switch and even Xbox.
I'm sorry. I love Sony, but their crap is way too overpriced.
This is overpriced, but Xbox
you can't justify it.
But Xbox is $200 too.
Yeah, what you mean? An Xbox Series S is $200?
No. Their Pro controller is $200.
Yes.
Xbox's Pro controller.
Yeah, the Pro controllers
the Elite.
The high-end Elite
No.
is yes, it is. It's $200. Yep, they're both $200.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you get.
Did they go up in price when I bought?
No,
mine,
I
it
think
was
they
like,
were always like that.
They have a lower tier Pro control. I don't even know what they call that.
I had the Elite one that comes in the little zippy case with all the little attachments.
And it was probably
all
what,
that stuff.
$120 for that one, or $99 for that one?
Yeah, it was like $120.
There's a $200 one where everything's metal and it's like a gunmetal controller.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Not
The
this one, I'm
Elite
telling
Series
you.
2.
There's one that's $200. So, yeah. Either way, they're both that. The Halo edition
is it like the government edition?
No,
Black
MG's
Ops
saying it's the Halo edition. Maybe that's the one, but it's $200. It's expensive. So I bought it so you guys don't have to buy it, and I'll let you know what my thoughts are so you can make an educated decision about whether you should buy it or not. My son wanted it as his second controller, so he needed a second controller anyway, so he would have been spending close to $100 for a second controller. So for him, he actually spent an extra $100. So MG says I got the Elite.
MG says Elite 2 has 2 versions.
See, that's what I'm saying. I know
mean?
there's an Elite, and then it's like an Elite Pro, and the Pro's like $200.
Don't describe it to me. Just pull it up, Stephen.
You're not a pro. I heard you kind of get your butt kicked on stuff like that.
Oh boy. I gotta read.
All right, so let me pull this up here. There's some chats here. We're back
what are
on
we doing?
Steve.
We've done absolutely
Steve?
nothing since the
No.
show started.
Yes, we have. Hang
do
on
something
a second.
productive?
We're interacting with the chat room. They're asking questions. We're answering it. Okay, hang on a second.
Yeah, I was actually going to tell you to check out some of the comments.
Yeah.
In the real small bit. He's basically telling you what you can do to swap the monitor, and he knows his stuff. On that.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely start.
He is the man when it comes to any. I really, by the way.
Let me read this really quick. I gotta pull up.
I want to
yes, because you're not on camera.
I'm selfish, and
so I could watch this.
No,
Watch
listen.
this. So I can just mute her so I can actually read this. So, sorry, since Dig Dug is vertical, they're laughing at me behind the scenes. Lines will be cut off. Yes. Okay, Jade. There you go.
Can I speak now?
Yes. I won't mute.
You silence me like I'm some kind of 1950s housewife.
I had to do it. Had to do it. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like the first thing that I saw from him was his Dragon's Lair. Oh God, what's it called? The extra screen, you know?
Oh, the third
observer
screen or second screen? Yeah.
Observer screen, yeah. And he figured out how to do it with like all the LVD or LDVS boards and stuff, like the splitters. Anyways, so I actually have an extra monitor, and that's like a future project I want to do because I feel like that would be like the crown jewel on my one-up Dragon's Lair. But he does really cool stuff like that, like all the really technical stuff that you would think about doing. That's his channel.
Yeah.
Cool. If he can send me a private message with his link to his channel, because I'm never going to be able to find it in this chat. If you can do that,
you're not even subscribed to his channel.
I didn't know. I don't. This is the first time I've heard about this. Come on now.
Look at.
I don't do a lot of modding.
Look at the guilt on Steven's face right now.
Listen.
Yeah, but no, his channel. If you want to know about modding, his channel is excellent.
I don't. You guys know I don't mod. I don't really do mods.
He goes. Well, I'm not just telling you. I'm telling everybody else who doesn't know. I'm plugging for this guy a little bit because I do like his stuff, and he goes into like serious detail on stuff. I mean, just steps you through everything. So definitely real smile bit. If you're into or even have like a passing interest in modding, you should check out his channel.
Before we get to the giveaway, Bill, your giveaway, talk to us about this latest news here with GoldenEye coming to Switch, online, Xbox
and
Game
Xbox,
Pass.
yep.
What do people need to know about this? Because I've been watching a lot of people getting super excited about this.
Mm-hmm.
Is it all that it's hyped up to be?
I think so. I mean, they've been talking about this for a while. It was known for a while that it was supposed to come to Xbox. And then during Nintendo's last Direct, whenever that was, they announced a bunch of N64 titles that would eventually be coming to online. And this was one of them. And I think this was the one probably people were most hyped about. Now, there is a difference between these two versions. The one coming to Xbox is not a straight port of the N64 version. It is a redone version. It's made for 4K. They bumped up some of the textures and some different things on it, and it does not have online multiplayer on the Xbox One.
And King Creole in the chat room, he says, play it on Switch. Online will only be on a Switch. So are they going to do it like Battle Royale type style on Switch?
Wait.
GoldenEye was
online is only on Switch.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what King Creole saying in the chat room.
The Xbox One doesn't have it. It still has 4-player local play, I think. But for 4-player online, only the one on Switch.
Come on, Jade, it's Code Mystics.
It is a port of the N64 one. I think they may have maybe bumped up the resolution a little bit. I know they reworked it so it'll work for a widescreen TV. So it isn't in the 4:3 aspect of the original, but it's also not stretched out. They reworked it for widescreen, which is nice.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was excited about it, and I was never like huge into that game, but it was always one of those games that was like that I would play with like groups of friends, but I never really played it a lot on my own. I was more into like Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah, my brother was big on 007 as his wife was. I wasn't as big, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to kick the tires on it.
Yeah. Wait, so you purchased this, right? Are they going to do a physical release of it?
No, it's part of their online package.
For Xbox, it's part of Game Pass. For Nintendo, it's part of their Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. So you have to be subscribed.
Oh my
to their
God! So
online
you
expansion
can't
pack.
even purchase it if you want to.
No.
Oh, I hate that. I hate it.
Well, that's how
it's how these guys.
Xbox is doing it
stuff.
too.
Yeah.
Xbox is doing it.
I know, but I hate it, you guys. I want my own copy.
We'll start a petition. Let's go. I mean, free MK worked. Why not free 007? Come on, Jade. Give it the program.
We'll get Pierce Brosnan.
Whatever you got to do it. And Kongs is backing you up. At least you have somebody backing you up. Kong says, I loved Shadows of the Empire.
That's a great game. God,
I love that game too. So good.
Jade was feeling kind of left
still
out.
To this day, one of the best Star Wars games ever made.
Right?
Yeah.
It was definitely like the first one two. Well, obviously, it was the first one that was 3D and like felt so immersive.
Mhm.
And I think the only ones that I was really into before that were Rebel Assault and Rebel Assault, and then which was okay, but it was fun because it was all FMVs and the graphics were cool looking. But then
Yes.
obviously like the Super Nintendo Star Wars games. I never got huge into the ones on PlayStation. I just always felt like they were too slow.
So there's a bunch
Except
of
for Masters of Terraskai.
King Creole goes free Leisure Suit Larry.
I heard that was coming to iArcade.
Oh, it might
No
be.
kidding.
Is that the news for today for iArcade?
That is
No.
totally
No.
possible.
I thought maybe that was the
Watch the
that was
iArcade
news.
become like an adult entertainment arcade.
Woo! I don't think John would let
Don't-
that happen.
Well, don't laugh. We'll get into that.
So let's
Oh.
so Biggie's saying $50 a year. So that's a great question. Do you have to have the extended Switch package where I think it's like $100 if you have a
Yes.
family or whatever? Or
Yes.
do you really?
need the-
Oh, that's a
yes.
bummer.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not they have the standard online, and then there's the quote unquote expansion pack one. The expansion pack one is lets you have Genesis and N64 games.
Yeah, I don't have that one. I have the basic. I'm a basic with
We got a
that.
super chat.
Yep, I'm bringing it
Yeah,
to
we
you
did.
right now so you can read it.
I think Natasha needs to
I
read
also-
it though.
It's a
I also
Natasha.
have Masters of Terraskai.
All right, go get
I'm sorry
Natasha.
to hear that.
Go get Natasha.
Shut up, Bill. Okay.
Wait, I saw Natasha on TikTok, and she was kind of not wearing hardly
Shut
anything.
up,
I don't know
Steven.
what. Oh, sorry. I knew I'd get her laughing.
$9.99 super chat from console fanboy. God damn it. I'm really trying to quit super chats, but I may be sick. Anyway, GoldenEye must be played on Switch with N64 controller. If it's all about nostalgia, you have to play it the way you remember. Hashtag free MK4.
Oh my
man.
goodness. Elmo watches wrestling. Say, are you sure that was TikTok, Steven? Well, she said it was on Instagram too, so you're gonna have to go look for it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Let's just say the algorithm is not working.
Apparently, there's a lot of things that weren't working. Natasha is from Mexico. No, MG's not there. What we're gonna do right now,
Oh,
we're gonna
boy.
take a quick break. Bill's gonna announce his giveaway winner here in just a few minutes. So stay with us. We got a lot more in store right after this.
Hey there, everyone. Hope you guys are all having a great night tonight. Just wanted to start this video off by giving a huge shout out and thank you to all of you who have been subscribing and supporting my channel for this past year. Believe it or not, the first video I ever posted was February 2nd of 2022, or somewhere around there, early February it was. So we are just shy of a year of my first year anniversary on YouTube. And again, thank you guys so much to your support. We finally hit the 1,000 subscriber mark about a week ago. It came up. So for those of you who don't know, I have been running a contest for the last couple of months. And what happened was back in October, I went to New York Comic Con and I picked up something a little special there for the express purpose of giving it away on the channel. And I know a lot of you have seen this already, but I just want to show it one last time before it goes bye-bye to a lucky winner. And this is it. This is the Sonic the Hedgehog pixel frame. New York Comic Con exclusive, limited to 500. And like I said, I picked this up with the express purpose of doing a contest. Now, you know, what I did was I had a video on there. I had people comment on that video to get into the contest. There were a number of people who did that. And in just a minute, I am going to run a comment picker and figure out who is the lucky person who is going to get this. But again, before I do that, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting the channel. you guys made this happen. This is not me. This is you guys. This would not be nearly as cool if you guys weren't watching, if you guys weren't commenting, if you guys weren't supporting. So thank you so much for that. All right, and thank you for supporting my friends and co-hosts here on Game Time and this show as well, because we have a lot of fun doing it and we love interacting with you guys. So that's why I wanted to run this video during the show and announce the winner now. So let's, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so this is it. This is a website that is designed specifically to do exactly what it says, to pick a specific comment from a website. I have my YouTube video loaded up here. I have it set to filter out duplicates, although I don't think there were any. The hashtag that you had to put was hashtag Sonic giveaway. It's loaded up with the names, and we are ready to go. All right, so here we go. Once I hit this start button, it will run through the names and it will pick a winner. So let's find out who the lucky person is. Here we go. And the winner is Darren Smith. Congratulations, Darren Smith. You are the proud owner of the Sonic Pixel Frame. All right, Darren, so here are the next steps to take in order to make sure that I get this to you, that you are the right person, so on and so forth. You're going to send me an email. My email address is retrobills71@gmail.com. Send me an email with your full name and address, so I have that in order to mail this to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you an email back with a code word in it. I want you to go back to your original comment from my giveaway video, edit it, and just put the code word at the end of your comment. All right, it's just a way for me to know that the person who's emailing me is who they say they are and is definitely going to get this. All right, because anybody can send me an email, anybody can say they are who they are, but you're the only person who can edit your comment on my YouTube channel. So once I know you've done that, we will be all good. I will get this out in the mail to you. If I can get tracking information, I will get that to you as well. Make sure you get it and everything is all cool with it. But again, guys, thank you so much for participating. Darren Smith, congratulations. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you get a chance to hang this in your arcade somewhere. When you do get it, send me a picture. I want to see it hanging in your room somewhere. All right, man? That's going to do it. Again, this is airing on Game Time. I did shoot it ahead of time, but it is airing on Game Time. But I am going to post this video to my channel after Game Time ends. Darren, in case you're not watching, you could get to it some other time. I'll put a pinned note on the original video that the winner has been selected. And you know what? We'll just make sure that you get notified some way, somehow. All right? That's going to do it. Again, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. All right, everyone. I just want to say thank you once again for all the subscribers, everybody who entered the contest. Congratulations to Darren Smith. If you're watching, you know what to do. If not, I will get in touch with you somehow, and we'll make sure you get this. But thank you guys again.
And what about Multicade Matt?
Oh, yeah. Can you...
I got it. I'm
bring it up?
on you, man.
Oh,
come on.
I didn't even see it. So, okay, cool. Great comment. Thank you so much. Congrats, Bill. It proves tasteful content can still get subscribers. I really, really appreciate that. That means a lot to me.
And I just want to say, because MG, the dude, he's on fire tonight. He was sitting there going, I can unsubscribe tonight. Well, see, what you don't know is we were talking during that video, and Bill said, well, if MG unsubscribes, I can't send him that life-size Sonic picture that he was giving away. He was going to send it to your house. But if you're gonna unsubscribe, well, he can't do. He knows how much you wanted it.
The only way he can get it is to order it direct.
Well, he has to order it direct. Yes.
Right.
Yep. Bill changed his clothes. Yeah. Well, he did record it earlier.
Yeah.
He had a busy.
It was just a crazy.
But
week.
now,
and to be totally honest and fair, my first contest, I wanted to make sure it was everything worked right.
But did you know? But did you know the guy that won? That's the question.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, as long as you didn't know him.
Nope.
That's the big thing. somebody actually put that in the chat room. I had to laugh. All right, somebody else has a Connie the Edgelord has a comment for you there, Bill. If you want to read that.
Hans Mole. I don't even know who that is, but very funny.
I don't know who that is either.
Wait,
let's see
Hans
here.
Mole Man, you don't know who that is?
No.
No.
The little old guy from The Simpsons.
Oh,
is
The
it?
little old wrinkly prune-looking guy. Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, I thought that was a friend of yours. 'Cause you were the one. You were.
Jeez, and I thought the one person who commented I looked like Rick Moranis was enough.
That's who he looks like. He looks like Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis is good.
Yes.
Rick Moranis is good.
I'm okay with
Hans
that one. I'm
Mole Man,
actually
I
okay
don't-
with.
I don't
Rick
see- I don't
Moranis is
see
awesome,
Hans
so I'm
Mole
actually
Man,
okay
though.
with.
I
that.
like that one. That's whoever said that. That was a good comment. All right. So let's kind of talk about something that I think is pretty near and dear to a lot of our hearts, guys in the chat room. Bill, you sent this over to me, and what is going on with this? Are we finally getting a reboot or a one of the minis of the Dreamcast, or what's happening with this? Are they trying to just bait and switch us here? No pun intended.
No, not really a bait and switch. This was a teaser that I think Sega put up on Twitter with a countdown reveal, and people have kind of been investigating, and it turns out it's for what they think is a remake of an old Dreamcast game. Yeah, and I forget what was the game called because it wasn't one that I recognized. Maybe Jade will know it because I
Wait,
know
can you
she's
zoom
into
in?
all things
I see it.
Dreamcast. It's not that. You got to go down.
Yeah, I
gotta.
gotta.
An ad.
Oh.
Hang on. I'm just waiting for the ads to
Oh,
load.
hurry, my
there
mouth
it
is
is.
watering.
Yeah, I'm wait. It's not. It's just
There
showing
it is.
an ad.
Cosmic Smash.
Cosmic
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Smash.
Cosmic Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured you might know more about it than anybody else.
She
It's like
don't
a
know. She's old. What does she know?
That
it's like
actually
a
came out
racquetball
towards-
pong kind of game.
Yeah, but it's got like this like a kind of VR style feel, like not VR, but you remember like Res and
Yeah.
it's just kind of like that, like those kind of vibes. And it came out towards like the end of the Dreamcast's run. It's a cool game though.
Is that
Cool
one?
game, but that's just, it seems random for them to be like, we're redoing Cosmic Smash.
Was that like one though that you could play on the little VMUs? Is that one of the reasons that they brought it out? Because it doesn't. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't remember it. I really don't.
I don't remember
No,
if
it came out late in Dreamcast, probably not because
right.
the
right.
VMU stuff was real early in the Dreamcast, and then
Yeah.
it kind of fell by the wayside. They weren't supporting it as much later on.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I felt like it was like most prominent like the first 6 months when you were playing like Sonic, and even when Sonic 2 came out and everybody had like the little KO, but the batteries on those things, man,
They
just
didn't
ran
last.
out so
Yeah.
fast.
Don't hate on my VMU. I liked my VMU.
Dude, I have like 8 VMUs.
I just wish the batteries worked on them to
Literally.
where you could play them. Like it still holds files and stuff like that, but there's nothing.
I had a
else.
red and black one, and I sold the red one for like $120
Why?
because I was like, somebody's
got
actually gonna
$120
pay
for it.
$120 for this. I was like, I'll sell it. I've got two. Wait, I've got 3 blue, 3 greens, and 2 whites, and a pink one.
Let me ask you guys if there happens to come out with a Dreamcast Mini. I mean, we saw the PlayStation Mini come out and people hated it, but then they had the ability to hack it, which mine is hacked, and I have every PlayStation game on it on the Mini. And then the Sega Mini came out, the Nintendo Mini, they had the Super Nintendo Mini, all these minis people were buying. Would you, even the TurboGrafx Mini, I have one of those, and those are going for boku dollars right now. Would you buy a Sega Dreamcast Mini? You guys, even in the chat room, was that something that would interest you, or would you just rather stick with the original console and be done with it?
How readily available? Excuse me. How readily available are Dreamcasts now? I haven't looked in a while. I mean, is their pricing still pretty decent?
About $80 for a system, but the games
See,
are
that's
tough.
that's
but
not
the games are
bad.
tough.
Like,
Yeah.
but if you get a Dreamcast and then you get a GDMU,
yeah, true.
I mean,
And there's no
you
copy
spend-
protection on them either. So if you do have some old games, you can copy them and put them on there and not mess up your original.
Yeah,
because
but
they're
I
worth
mean,
a
if
lot
you
of
get
money.
a Dreamcast with a GDMU, that's pretty much a Dreamcast Mini, or what it would be, except for it's on the real hardware.
Ooh,
so.
Jaguar Mini.
Mm.
I'm with Hobby Hands. I would do a Jaguar Mini as well.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I wonder how that would work in conjunction with CD games. Well, I guess if it was able to emulate it and they had like a certain type of emulator running it, you would think it'd be able to run all those games. So
So Elmo.
Well, why not? Because that new Genesis Mini 2 has Sega CD games on it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it probably would have the architecture for it anyways. So it would just be a matter of being able to hack it.
So this is something interesting. Elmo says I would move my mainly he would run his 1-up with a Dreamcast Mini in it. That's an idea. I know a lot of guys who've been putting
interesting.
real Dreamcasts inside of their 1-ups
Yeah.
to make a.
Yeah.
That would be
I
nice.
actually thought about doing that, and I think there's a company that makes a control deck that you can just throw in there, so that you
Intech.
can. Yeah,
Yep.
Intech makes those plug-in control decks.
Mhm.
But the other thing that's cool too is that it's easy to do a full upscale with HDMI on Dreamcast, to where you can just use the HDMI port on the back of those LDVS monitors.
MG, I put his comment up. He's like, Amiga CD32 Mini. Oh boy. He says, I'd get bored and launch a Hellfire into the tent of the dude I'm supposed to rescue. No, I think that's a good idea. I never even thought about putting the Mini inside one of these cabinets and running, because they're all HDMI. Like you could put it in ACT games and set it up, and I wonder if it would map, because it does use a lot of USB mappers. Jade, that's our homework this week, to try to take one of the Minis and plug them into the ACT games through HDMI and USB and see if they can map it. Oh yeah.
No.
Oh
no,
yes.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep. That's why we put Bill in the middle.
Yeah. I'm the buffer.
So something else, when I was talking about or showing out there the PS5 controller, Jade was like, they're talking about possibly making a new PS5. I'm like, no. But
it's inevitable. It's happening.
Well,
it's just a matter of the timelines being accurate or not.
They're saying it's going to be liquid cooled. It's going to come out in April. I don't buy this. Maybe we'll get another.
I think they're going to start
being
manufactured maybe in April.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I don't know if we're going to get the whole liquid cooling, because when you get into liquid cooling, like, you really got to leave your console sit. You can't be like,
why?
Taking
cell phones do it.
I know, but you really think that they're going to do something like that? We had problems. People are trying to say don't lay your PS5 sideways. They don't know what they're talking about. I like the space age design of this. I do, but I also like the space age design of the other one. I just think that they're going to. I don't see a reason why they would do this.
Well, there's definitely conflicting reports, because on the other end you have people saying there's no plans at all for a refresh of the system, a Pro or anything like that. That they're focused more on the PS6 now.
Well, yeah, that's what I heard.
And
yeah,
that if there's anything coming for PS5, it's going to be
a Pro.
Basically the same no Pro. Basically the same version we have now, but instead of the disc built in, it will have an external disc.
We have that already, though. We have the digital version.
But the digital doesn't. But you don't have an external drive that you can plug in.
So they
You would think that would just be a software update.
Yeah, I agree.
All they would have to do is update the firmware, and you would be able. It would be compatible.
100%.
Because that's really the only thing that's not letting it work.
Well, they may do that. They may do that for the older digital one, but I think moving forward, they want to
why are you
make
yelling
one
at me?
built like that.
He's passionate about this. He's like,
no. In all seriousness, am I loud?
No. We're busting your chops.
I don't want to make sure I'm not too loud.
No, you're good.
Okay.
It's that red hot. Is it actually glowing? Is it
looks
glowing
cool.
red?
No, I like
look,
that.
See, that is really cool. I really like that mic.
There it is.
Can I trade? Can I trade you?
I don't know if that'll match your ears.
Shut up, Steve.
but then there's also this website here. Let me pull this down. This website here that says Gaming Bolt says PS5's new model will enter production in April, released in September. I'm not buying it. I would tend to believe what you're saying, Bill, about that. There's not that you're saying, but the report that you read that they want to do a slimmer one, maybe a cheaper one, a $299 with an external drive. But then I go, okay, they're really pushing this digital movement. Why would they encourage an external drive? And I kind of go with Jade, like, wouldn't you just add firmware to the digital version and then sell them at a ridiculous amount, like $129 Blu-ray drive for it?
How many USB ports does the digital one have?
I think it's the same.
That's a good question.
Isn't it the same?
It's got to
as
have
the
at
other
least
one?
3. It's got to have at least 3.
Yeah, because
right?
you have a USB-C on the front, you have a USB 2 or /3 on the front, and then I believe, if I remember correctly, there's like 4 on the back and a USB-C on the back. I'd have to look at it again. But
I did not think there were that many, to be honest.
oh yeah, I even have a splitter on mine for
Okay.
a hard drive. They say not to do that, but mine works fine with it. I don't have any issues with it. I have like a 5 terabyte external that I just dump games on that I might play once in a blue moon. So that way I can transfer it back over fairly quick. But I don't know. I tend to think that they're on PS6 mode. I kind of agree with that. I mean, and Jade, it can't be that hard, right, to throw out a software patch for this and overprice it.
I don't think so, because it's like if you look at the Series S, and I know we're talking about PlayStation, but if you look at the Series S, if you try to plug in a drive to it, it won't even. It will recognize that you plug something into it, but it won't read off of the drive. I think that that's a software lockout. It's something that is easily fixable by a software update. That's just my electronic or tech intuition.
Well, you might have the right intuition, though, because also this website here, I don't remember which one of you guys sent it to me, but if you read this article, it says Sony might skip a PS5 Pro and jump straight to a PS6 game console. Bill, that kind of coincides with what you were saying about skipping the Pro. Yeah, I tend to believe that one because they go on a 7.
When is that dated? What is the date on that?
This article
ago,
Tuesday, January 24th.
January 24th.
So it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty new.
And where's like the bullet where they actually substantiate their claim?
If I remember correctly, this is the article I sent you, right?
I think so. This is on Hot Hardware.
I think it comes from somebody who's been like a well-known leaker and gotten a lot of this stuff right in the past, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But see, what they could still do though, they might skip a Pro, but they could still release a like slimmed down version of the PS5.
I would agree with that.
So I could still see them doing something like that. Maybe not a Pro, but like a slimmed down version or a modified version or something. I don't know.
So the question
I agree. I think we'll get some kind of refresh. I just don't think it's going to be added hardware. I don't think it's going to be like a Pro that bumps it up.
Right.
So the question I have for everybody and you guys as well is the fact that if the PS6 is on the horizon, we just now are getting people to actually be able to get a PS5. So is Sony's clock starting from this year as if it was launched this year? So the last 2 years doesn't really count as the launch toward their 7-year cycle, and they are actually going to go 9 to 10 years for a launch. What is your thoughts around that? Because I kind of think Xbox and Sony are looking at this year as launch year, even though it's not, and they've never said that. We still haven't gotten a ton of exclusive games for either console, to be quite fair. So we're not getting a new system, say, till 2030, 2032?
No way.
No, I think it'll be earlier than that. So the interesting thing I don't remember with that same article or something I read, especially with PlayStation, there's a couple of things with them. First off, if you look at a lot of the games they've released already, most of them are games that are both for PS4 and PS5. There's very few PS5 only games. So they haven't really begun to push what the PS5 can do yet.
And the other thing has to do with exclusivity. And with the purchase of Activision by Microsoft, they could potentially lose the Call of Duty franchise. I think they said around 2028.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
So there's something about when they release the next console and not being able to have a Call of Duty game on it and being concerned about, that hurting them and losing to Microsoft. So it's not beyond the realm that they could go 7 or 8 years in this cycle.
So
we'll see.
So
I don't think they're starting from scratch this year.
No.
I think they're still counting the last 2-3 years.
Elmo's saying right here, I don't know where he's getting this information or if he's just joshing with us, but he's like 2029 PS6 and Xbox 720. And then he goes on to say Nintendo Switch 2 2035 because Nintendo already came out. I don't know if you guys saw it, but they already came out and said there is no plans right now to make a new Switch. They're actually pumping more games out because there was somebody
but then there was like a leaker who said that
they've been saying that for 3 years.
Well, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, contrary to that, there was a leaker who was saying that actually what's going on behind the scenes in their manufacturing process and drawing board process is that they are actually working on some sort of upgraded console. So it might not be a Switch,
Well, and that may be true, but the others, I guess, the side to that is when was it Hyrule Warriors or was it Breath of the Wild? I think it was Breath of the Wild was one of the last big titles to come out for the Wii U. Then they killed the console off, and then they trickled out maybe 12 titles after that. They're saying now the new Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out, which is Switch, and they, one of the guys was like, well, so they're kind of ending the life cycle of new games to Switch. But this week it came out from Nintendo themselves, and they said, well, we're cranking up new games. We're not intending to make any new systems right now, except maybe like they did the OLED. Maybe there's going to be other models like they did the Pokemon ones.
And I don't know. Nintendo is always really tight-lipped, though.
But do they need to? Do they need to? Is the Switch that much to the point where people are like, yeah, I'm kind of done with it. I want the new system.
I think that they need to do something. Like the hardware is slowly getting outdated. Like they have some good developers that have worked with them and have really pulled off some good stuff on there. I mean, like Doom Eternal being able to play on the Switch. But the problem is when you dock it, I mean, depending on what the game is, it looks like garbage.
Do you have the OLED one?
I do.
Okay. I didn't think it looked like. I thought they did a really good job with the OLED version.
No, I think the OLED version is fantastic. It's the best version of the Switch.
100%.
It's the best iteration of it. But what I'm saying is that they need like more power for when it is in docked mode for it to be able to keep up and have like a sustained frame rate and to look good as well.
Wow.
And one of the things, this is what I remember now. One of the things that they were talking about, the reason why they thought that Nintendo was working on something else, either an upgraded Switch or something newer, was it had to do with NVIDIA and the fact that something about DLSS, I forget what it was, but it was linked to like Nintendo dev kits. Like they had sent out Nintendo dev kits that were using DLSS or something like that.
Natasha, we need you to read a super chat. It's very
okay.
easy.
Thank you. Oh wait, hold on. What is that?
She's got to get in character.
Yeah. I just don't want to say the name wrong. Okay. TM Cunny, $5 super chat. We'd like to thank you for the $5. Says, hold on,
I pulled it back up.
Take off screen.
What am I? What are you, a caveman now? Oh, I Tarzan, you Jane.
Oh my god.
It's called broken English.
Well, come on now.
Oh.
Well,
I read it already.
Oh, come on. Jeez, she's terrible. one of the things I think that Nintendo needs to do better on is voice chat options with using multiple sound cards with that. It's very hard to stream with the Nintendo Switch and do like voice chat options like you would do like in like Call of Duty or Fortnite or some of these other games where you can get your chatters and take their audio and go in. In fact, Dying Light and Dying Light 2 was a game that we were like really excited because you could do multiplayer online. It was kind of like a little bit like a battle royale, but it wasn't like you went through together online. The problem is, yeah, you can play together, but you can't chat together, and I think that's a little ridiculous when you bring a game. So I think I would love to see Nintendo do a little bit better with that from that standpoint. So I think that's something that has to change, and I agree with you, Jade. I think, this day and age, there's so many people that are streaming video games. There's so many. I think that dock needs to be a bit more powerful. Like, I was surprised it took them till the OLED model to give you Ethernet. Like, that should have just been standard from day one, whether people used it or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they're kind of like Apple in that respect. Like, they're almost. You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of like behind the power curve a little bit, but they're on their own platform that works for them. And their software, I mean, their hardware or their software is very optimized for their hardware, because really when you look at what they're using to run the console, it's not that powerful at all compared to everything else.
So before we get to your segment, Jade, I know Bo Knows Tecmo was in your chat last night. He was in this chat telling us about this. Why don't you talk a little bit about this game that's coming to Xbox?
So I just found out about it yesterday, and it was, like it says, surprise release. I just saw it in a, what was it, Instagram feed. So Hi-Fi Rush. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? Because it almost reminded me of, it gave me like those Dreamcast vibes. What's it called? Rollerblading graffiti.
Oh, Jet Set Radio.
Jet Grind Radio.
Jet Grind Radio.
And so, of course, I was like automatically just attracted to it. But I went and kind of looked at some videos and stuff and saw what it was about. And it looks really fun. It looks really cool. And I really need to look further into it, because I was kind of wondering if they're going to do any kind of physical release with it, which I doubt. But anyways, it looks really fun. Okay.
Yeah, I was pulling it up. Sorry, I had to switch over.
So check it out.
It's
Here's
very comic booky
gameplay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it is in the cutscenes, but then like in the actual gameplay, it's very Jet Grind Radio.
I'm down with
that cell shading look to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bo Knows Tecmo says, love that game. I would pull up your chat, but we don't want to overlay it over this. But he says, love that game. It's a masterpiece. I actually think I might buy it.
And it's just so, it's very fast and extreme. And I just love that type of gameplay. So.
And that's what Richard Dello says. He says, that's exactly what it reminded me of. Was Jet Set Radio. Jet Grind Radio.
Yeah. But when it popped up, I was like, whoa, how have I never heard of this? And then until I talked to Bo in my stream, I thought like maybe it had been out for a while or something. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that was like a secret release. How could they do that?
So let me ask you, is this going to be an exclusive?
From the makers of The Evil Within, seriously. This is definitely a different game.
Is this going to be an exclusive to Game Pass, or is this something you can actually get a physical copy for in the store? Does anybody know? Because that's what I'd be curious about.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to be able to buy it at least. If I can have a digital copy, that's cool. But a physical release for a game like this would be pretty neat. There are certain games that I can totally bypass the physical release aspect, and then certain ones that I'm like, ooh, I really want that, like in, a case and whatnot.
So your average gamer in the chat room, he says, anybody got an extra Mr. OTG won't let me borrow his. So I'm gonna put that out there for him. So I guess we'll have to see what happens if they, like you said, Jade. I wouldn't mind buying a digital copy, but I want to buy it. I don't have Game Pass. My kid has Xbox Game Pass because he has Series S. I have the X, and I'm spending so much money on monthly subscriptions to stuff with PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass and Switch Online. It's I don't want to have to do that, but let's see here. We have Wolfenose. Let's see what he says here. He says the cell animation is always a win in games. Case in point, Wind Waker. Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, Windjammers, isn't that also the same type of animation as well?
You mean the second one?
Yeah, the second Windjammers, yeah.
It does have like a little bit of that element to it for sure. What's that other game on Xbox? It's like Sunshine. Also a cell shaded game. It's a really good game actually.
What's it called?
Arizona Sunshine?
No, something Sunshine or Sunshine.
Oh, I know the one. Yeah.
I
know the
can't
one you
remember.
mean.
I own it. I own it.
Is it
and I should know the name of it.
Somebody in the chat.
Is
will
it
know
Sunset Overdrive?
That's it.
Sunset Overdrive? That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Sunset
gonna
Overdrive.
see. It's a good thing I can pull this stuff up here.
Mm.
You'd be lost without me. Look at
But
this.
Yeah.
Let me see if I
yeah,
can get a
that's
video.
a really cool game. I actually have a physical copy of that.
And that Hi-Fi Rush again has a similar vibe to that too, because that's all kind of frantic action and jumping around and smashing things. So
Those are cool games. So I wonder if Hi-Fi Rush is more like sandboxy, or if it's more open world or like linear story. I don't know. I'm gonna get it. I have to play it now.
I'm gonna pull this up here so people can see these. Of course, you would like this one. There's like blood and guts and everything like that. Like, jeez.
everything you love in a game.
Sunset
Over the top
Overdrive.
action.
Yeah.
There's
Drug
this-
use. I mean, come
There's
on.
this anime called Dead Leaves, and it is probably one of the most. Have you seen it?
I think I saw it like a really long
Seen
time
it.
ago.
He
It's been a
probably
while.
owns it.
Oh my
Probably has
God.
2 copies
Dead
of it.
Leaves, and Red Line. That's another one.
Red
So
Line,
good.
yeah. Yeah, this is a lot. Like, these are like I call them cartoon games.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, but see that? Look at that. That kind of stuff is so cool. And then like the characters are really like eccentric, and it's just really fun and immersive.
yeah, I've been playing a lot of Horizon right now, so that's where I'm at. Horizon and God of War. Those are the 2 games I've been like really like binging on playing. Jade, for your video here, is that something we want to play and you're not talking over it, or is that something that
No, I'm gonna talk over it. So there's
so you don't want audio
and
on it?
even the segment with audio, all the audio is turned off except for the segment where the fighting is, but just keep it low because there's nothing important. Like I'm not talking in there, so.
Okay, give me a second here, and I'll just pot down the audio here. I'll go down there, and we'll see how it is. Okay, so.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
I'm
no
sorry.
audio on these parts.
It killed the our audio on that top. Sorry.
Okay.
I thought she wanted it to play there was audio to it. That was my bad. And we were like sitting there listening, and she was explaining it to us. So let me back this up, Jade, so that way people
geez,
can.
Steven.
Well, you said there was audio on it, and then you said there was only a little bit audio. So we're in your game room. Let's go back to this. Thank you guys thanks for telling us that. So what you finally
Sorry,
got?
guys.
I thought you were
Sorry, guys.
narrating it for us, so we
So-
knew what was
Okay,
saying.
so basically, I got these adapters that you can get through X Gaming, but I had to get them on eBay because X Gaming is always out of stock. But you basically plug the USB end of that into your PS4, and then you use this, which plugs into your arcade stick, and then these adapters have PS2 ports, and then you plug it all together like so. And then now you can use this whole joystick setup on your PS4. So basically, I
that?
just kind of went, I don't know, some hoodlum. But I basically went through the process of kind of like getting in here and just showing you guys what it looks like. But you're going to see down there, I've got my Optiplex micro PC, and then the PS4 is underneath it. Now, of course, I moved that off of there because it gets warm and I don't want to overheat anything. But I basically go in there. I'm going to plug those things into the PlayStation, and then plug the other end of the harness into the X Arcade tank stick. So I also got a splitter, which I'll show you guys a picture of later, so that I can split those ports, and then that way I don't have to like switch back and forth between plugging my PC in and the PS4. But basically on the PS4 that I have, I got a PS4 Slim in here, and I have all the fighting games on it. So Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Infinite, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, and Tekken 7 Fighting Layer EX. All like the really good, cool, big
Can I ask a
games.
dumb question?
Sure.
So you know how hot those PS4s get. Are you doing anything for ventilation in that, or are you just leaving the back off of it?
I'm just leaving the back off of it,
Okay.
and it's sitting flat with,
Okay.
in an open space, so it's got plenty of ventilation.
No. I thought you had the back on though, so that's good. I was curious about that.
Oh, no. The back of the arcade is on. There's plenty of ventilation back there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Ooh.
And I'm going to switch the hard drive over to an SSD. I haven't done that yet, it's really easy to do on the Slim model. But anyways, yeah, so it works great. I got everything plugged in, and now I can play all of these arcade games, kind of like Buick style on my Capcom cab, and then just switch back to my PC for like a lot of the other arcade heavy games. So there's Tekken 7. It's a really cool solution, like as far as, because your PC is going to run most things up to like the mid 2000s, but with that you're going to be able to hit some of the newer fighting games and get that online play as well. So Street Fighter 6 is another one I'm excited for.
And Andy says, cool use of that Switch.
Yeah, so I was excited about it. I think that it's a really cool option. I mean, and that's something that you could totally do in, like, if you have an arcade one up that you want to play newer gen games in, just go that route. Very easy, very smooth, very simple. And then you can just plug right into your PS4.
Very cool. So do you want me to pull up the pictures that you have, or is that...
Yeah, so I wanted to show these to everyone because they're so crazy. Like, so this is an actual arcade cabinet of Ultra Street Fighter 4. And like, just this is like before, I think, well, after this they pretty much just went Vuelix. But look at how eccentric that is. I mean, like,
looks like a Japanese
wild
game because they have like the seat there in front of it and everything. That's a lot of the Japanese games.
It's wild, but I mean, it's so huge. Can you zoom in on it at all?
Yeah, I can zoom in on it.
But if you look at like the extent, like the detailed artwork all around where you sit, and then they have like what are those little soft spots like that you can kind of press up against on the control panel, and they're like both separate. I mean, it's just massive. And you can see Big Buck Hunter over there, like, to kind of have a size comparison. I mean, that thing is huge, but it's crazy. Like, this generation of games, especially big titles like this, when they started coming out with arcade cabs like that, like, it's wild, right? But anyways, I feel like the kind of that Capcom cab that I have set up is like a nice. It's still big and wide and feels big, but it's representative of something that I feel is comparable to like maybe something you would play in the arcade. Go to the next one, please. And this is another huge one that I just wanted you guys to see. Like you could see this guy right over there on the left. But I mean, just like wow, like they went big on their last big arcade run of Street Fighter 4 there. And then Street Fighter 5 came along, and we got the next picture.
I want to see Michael B put one of these in his arcade.
The Vuelix, and this is pretty much what it's been since. And the Vuelix is so cool. It's so simple and sleek, and you still have plenty of space between the players and everything. Or they have like the one player Vuelix models as well. But now like this is pretty much standard for most of the fighting games that you'd see in the arcade, like Street Fighter 4 or 5, Tekken 7. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the scaled down feeling of things. Like those other ones are like really over the top.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, it's
double pedestal.
Yeah. No, I feel like for a lot of those games, with where we are in the home market, with the consoles and PCs and all being able to play games as good, if not better, than arcade games, it's like these arcade companies had to do something to entice you to come play them. And that's why you got some of these like massive ones with the over the top look to them.
Yeah, I would, like I said, I've said this before, I would love to have something like that. I mean, to me, that's like for an arcade enthusiast, that's an arcade work of art right there, having something like that with the plastic and the wood style games. I would love to have. In fact, we have like a Tik Tok, not the actual game. It's a restaurant that's over here that's connected to Denny's. They actually have a big Buck Hunter in there with the old plastic, just like she was showing there, not the wooden one. And I would really like to get it. It's got the big LCD on it. They must have modded it, because behind it you can kind of see the plastic where it kind of conformed around the CRT. And they somehow mounted it, but I would love to get that for in here. But there's no way. There's no way.
I love like the thing that I love about the Vuelix is that it's literally the arcade form factor, and you can put so many different games in it, and it works. I think the next best thing, like if I had a Vuelix and like an Egret 2. Which is the one, it's the Teatro cab where you can like rotate the monitor. So you're 4x3, either vert or horizontal. And just to have something like that to be able to like switch PCBs in and out of would be really, really cool. But the cool thing about the Vuelix obviously too is that they're using LCD screens. So it's a lot more low maintenance than the CRT. But the Egret is like another, if I had those two, like I wouldn't need anything else for a fighting cab at all.
The Vuelix, I mean, just from the look of them, they feel like the next iteration of like the candy cabs.
They pretty much are.
Yeah.
And the Egret is like a candy cab. It is basically a candy cab. I think Astro City is like an Egret. It just doesn't have the rotating screen.
So MG has been stalking me. Like he saw that on the unboxing of the controller. My address was on there, and I was just like, yeah, everybody's got my address. It's no big deal. You can find my address. I'm not a criminal. I don't, it's not hidden. And so he just put in the chat room, is the Denny's near your house, the Tech Buzz? It actually is. It's right down the road. It's at a truck stop right before you get on the highway, right on Route 80. So yeah, it is right there. But he's been giving it to me all day. Candy Cab V2. Multi-Hit Matt says. I want to Cruise and Blast arcade. Selling my land soon, so could be possible. Well, Bo, you need to keep the land, build a building, and then put all the games in it. That's what you need to do.
Those things are big. The Cruise and Blast. I think the dual cabs are connected, aren't they? Or it's like all one piece with two screens in it and two. I don't know, but they're cool though. Cruise and Blast is a fun game.
He's like, oh, I saw it. He must be that crazy
have a
guy that's
stalker.
stalking me. Yeah, he's
Yep.
probably on Google Earth. He's zooming in. He's like, I want to see if I could see him.
You may
From
have
the-
to take out a restraining order pretty soon. You got to be careful.
He's probably like, I can see him. He's sitting there in his studio. I could see it. See, he even said, look, he even says, I used Google Earth. I think you were in your backyard. It's possible. Could have been working in the backyard, working in the on the food plot for the deer. I could have been out in my pontoon getting that ready for. It depends when they shot it. I don't know how often they shoot that, but
Hopefully, it wasn't summer and you were sunbathing.
I don't do that. We do that on the lake. Speaking of lake, I can't wait for that. I'm ready to get the boat back out and go fishing. It's about time. Pontoon's calling my name. It's like the country song. On the pontoon. It's a country boy. So it's one of those weeks like we were sitting there and we're going like, what are we going to talk about? There's really no news. Like unless you pre-ordered the Star Wars cabinet, right? Like that was the only.
Wait.
Somebody-
Before we go,
No,
look.
no, wait. Let me finish my insult here.
Oh, okay.
Unless you pre-ordered
Continue.
the Star Wars arcade that was supposed to be here, but it's not here yet. But somehow somebody else already has one, and they're comparing it right now. But I think somebody else, MG, ordered direct because she's not getting it until February 15th.
Are you talking about me?
I'm 100% talking about you. You're full
I didn't
screen on
order
the.
one. I
Yeah.
didn't order one.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You ordered the Star Wars. You told me you did. You showed me the screening of it. Don't lie to me. You ordered it. Yes, you did.
All right.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh!
okay.
Yes, she did. She sent me the screening of it. She's like, I ordered. And
Have
she
you been playing Polybius?
no, because you were trying to talk me
Oh,
into
boy.
buying it, and I said no, I'm not going to buy it. I have to sit down. It's going to be worth money. And you're like, well, this one's going to be worth something too because it's a 30th anniversary. It's a release, and la la la. Dee, dee, dee. And I'm like,
No,
no,
I
can't do that.
actually didn't though.
Yes, you did. You showed me the screenshot. I have
Yeah,
it.
I literally canceled it though. Like,
Oh, I knew
the
I'm not
same
going
day.
crazy. You showed it to me. I'm like,
See,
so wait,
what
wait,
she-
so why
what
did you
happened
cancel
was
it?
she had it in her cart 15 times.
Yeah.
well, it didn't take her
and
15
then she
times to
couldn't
buy
pull
it.
the trigger.
Wait, so okay, all right. So tell us. Wait, tell us the story. Why did you cancel? Because you were all hyped about it in the sense of you wanted it back in your arcade. You were pretty hyped about it. Why is it the $600 price tag or what? What was it?
No, I bought it, so I was gonna buy it from Shop Hippo, and then
Right.
so I had it like ordered, and then kind of like that whole day happened, and I was just like, I hate everything right now. So,
Yep, Rainwater got it
Wait,
right.
I gotta say, you gotta bring up rainwater.
Yep, she lying. That's right. She lying on that one. Oh, but wait a second.
Ah.
You were telling me that I needed to order it. You sat there saying, Steven, you're gonna regret it if you don't order it. And I'm like, the last time she told me that, I ended up with Marvel vs. Capcom in and out of my cart 15
Mhm.
times. Everybody else is like, I can't order Marvel vs. Capcom. There I am. I have it in my cart 15 times.
okay, this coming from the guy who just bought a Dig Dug.
That's right. I
Oh,
bought a
okay.
Dig Dug, and I also bought a $200 Sony controller here. So I don't want to hear it. What's your excuse? I didn't cancel my order. In fact, my Dig
No,
Dug
I-
cabinet will be here tomorrow.
Legitimately, like I was just,
Oh,
I was
here
over
we
it.
go. She's over
I'm
it.
serious. I was literally just over it. I'm like, I can't. Like, I'm just over all of this. So I canceled it.
You can still
and,
order it. It's
um,
still up for pre-order right now, so you can go back there and order
No,
it.
that's I
No,
really
no,
don't care.
really. You can go back there and order it.
I might just do that.
I
sometime.
know you will. You'll
No,
call.
I'm legitimately not going to order it though because I don't think
Li-
I don't think that
In
I
all,
really
all
want
kidding
to.
aside, I really think, and this is what I told Jade, I really think down the road, if they were to create a deluxe version of it, I would consider selling my sit-down one for it because it seems like if they would do that, I would replace a lot of these other machines that are Gen 1s because the Deluxe is higher and it's got that sleek design without the riser. Kind of looks like the iArcade.
I don't even care about the riser. I just
I
wanted it
do.
for the artwork. The artwork.
Well, the
looked
artwork
great.
helps too. Yeah.
That's
But
it's that
really,
continuous-
and it had
I
the
actually
black
have to admit,
trim,
I've been sitting here
and that's
thinking about
literally all I
ordering
cared
it,
about.
so.
Whoa, wait. I think we got Bill. Bill, what say that again?
No, I've been thinking about ordering it since they announced it. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. And part of it is that price tag on it, the $600. I'm like, ugh, it's a hard pill to swallow when the original was like $450, $500. Just for a coin
but
door.
you have to think like the design is slightly different. And I think the speakers, the coin door, and obviously the artwork covering the whole body of it. What there's like one other thing. Isn't the yoke slightly upgraded as well? I mean, those yokes are hella expensive. So the fact that they are still fitting it in there for a $599 price point isn't terrible.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the yoke is actually. There's been some back and forth on that.
The yoke looks a little different than mine.
Does it? Because I
little bit.
What they had said was, I think when they said it was, upgraded or whatever, they really just meant that it was the same. It was the same one as before, but they had made such a good one or whatever. There was some conflicting on what they actually meant by that.
Did you guys see the
worst
switches?
case scenario? If it's that bad, I'll get Glenn's and put it in.
But did you see the switches on it were flat, like for volume and everything like that? They were like, unless that was just a render.
Yeah,
but
that's just a render.
I think it was a render.
I like that
Yeah,
idea.
it's a
I think they should
Yeah.
go with that. I like that flat look. It kind of makes it like it's not going to be there. And I want to put this out there because I don't know the guy. Okay, I've never physically talked to the Cornercade, but I want to put this out there. And I saw he posted this, and I can't remember where he posted it. So if you guys are friends with Cornercade, let him know I mentioned him here. Him and his wife came up with this awesome mod, and you guys know me. It's got to be an easy mod or I'm not doing it. They took a stick of hot glue, and they cut pieces off of it for their games like Tron, NBA Jam, and Terminator. And some of the games that they have the pushback and on switch. And they put the glue to keep it on the on position all the time so their smart switches would work. I have been fighting for almost 2 years with some of these cabinets so I could turn every single one of them on with my smart switch. And this was like a simple mod. I just had to take my wife's glue stick, cut it, and stick it in the... Dude, it works phenomenal, and you don't even see the glue stick because it's in there. Like, if you have one of those and you're running smart switches, dude, it's killer. Cut a little piece, jam the power button on,
so it stays in the on.
Turns on, and you can kill the power with it with the smart switch.
Interesting.
It's great.
I will have to keep that in mind because once I have everything set up ultimately the way I want it, that's what I'm going to do. Because look, my whole house is like Echo enabled. I turn on like
that's how I am.
With it, and I plan the same thing with the arcade eventually. So
that to me was like gold. Like, I don't know how they came up with it, but I was working with Angel because I was going to see if he could rewire the switch because he's good with stuff like that. And I'm like, really? A glue stick? A 10-cent glue stick? You just like cut the stupid
like
thing?
the pricing though on the Star Wars, it's like not if you already have one, I don't think it's that big of a deal because people will literally pay like $750 for these things. I've even seen...
they were going for like 800 to 1,000 on...
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen them going for even more than that, but I mean, at minimum, it's easy to get $750 for one of these things. So it's just, you're basically just swapping it out,
What
and
about
that
this?
was kind of like...
What about this? This is a good comment. I don't know, Hobby Hands, why they're not doing this. You add a coin door, but you're not adding the screw caps.
Yeah.
Why are they not adding screw caps to these?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, well, if you think about the ones that are like really artwork heavy, though, it might look kind of awkward unless you have like all the right. Sure. I agree. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
I get it, but black you could put on pretty much all of them except for Pac-Man. Pac-Man because it's yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could get away with it.
No, but I agree with Jade's point. If you look at the deluxes that come with the screw caps, it's very simple artwork on them, and where the screw caps are, for the most part, it's pretty much the solid colors. You look at that Star Wars, and it's all art.
Oh, wait. Bill, we
So I
got
totally-
the answer. I'm
Uh-oh.
pulling it up for you to read.
Oh, screw caps are appropriate. Of course. Now it makes perfect sense. Of course. What was I thinking?
But I mean, we honestly, the community have been asking for screw caps
Mhm.
since day one. And I'll be honest, Act Games doesn't even do that. iArcade doesn't even do that. Like,
Well, okay, but to be fair,
But you can
iArcade doesn't
3D
need
print
them. iArcade doesn't need them. There's no
Yeah,
there's no
that is a
screws
good point.
anywhere except on the control panel. There's
I
none.
was thinking
None
about
shown.
that the other day. Actually, yesterday, I'm like, why don't they just start doing a cam lock system, and use
Mhm.
like a little bit different? Like they wouldn't even have to necessarily make the wood thicker, but they could use a different kind of
Yeah.
like MDF or
Act
whatever.
Games uses cam locks. It works good.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, they could really minimize the amount of screws because it looks like it got
Yeah.
shot up in a drive-by.
But to be fair though, I think that with the cam lock system, the reason why they don't is because they use such cheap wood that I think you get some of these muscle heads that go in there and they crank down on the cam lock and they actually will rip it out of the MDF that it is. I don't even want to call it wood. I shouldn't call it wood.
That.
It's not that. You don't
hard.
think it's that?
I don't think it's that hard.
People like you who karate kick it when you're not winning. That's the true honest answer. I knew it. I don't know. Yeah. So there was a guy in the community that made me some 3D printed screw caps that I had on my old Legends cabinet. And I think a lot of guys are doing that. You can go on Etsy now and you can buy 3D printed screw caps.
I'm considering doing that for my the Tempest one at the very least.
So,
I don't know if I'll do it for Marvel vs. Capcom for the
So
all the artwork.
So
but...
Bill's gonna make everybody 3D printed screw caps. So just send your orders and maybe we could even get Glenn to do it too. Glenn has a 3D printer. Make 3D.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna put because I found some arcade 1-up coin doors on eBay. Like there's people that are just selling.
Is it really?
Them now.
I want one.
It's pretty.
I want it for
easy
Terminator.
to find them.
How
They're
much?
about like they're overpriced. They're about $70. But
for a coin door.
Yeah, but my point is just I already have Star Wars. I'm just gonna paint the molding black, and then I'm gonna put a coin door on it, and just put a USB kit in there and light it up. And I mean, I'm good to go, right? But the artwork is, it'll be minus the cooler artwork that they have on it now. But I think I'm just gonna go that route because I don't want to deal with it.
No, I think I may wind up just because it's been one of my ones that I've wanted ever since I got into this, and of course, by the time I got into it,
you don't
it was
have
out.
a Star Wars?
I do not have Star Wars, so that's
okay.
why I want. No, if I had it, I'll be honest with you, I would not buy this one to upgrade. I totally understand what you're saying, but for me, I don't see the worthwhile for the extras because the games are the same. But not having one definitely makes me want to get
as
this
goofy as it
particular one.
looks.
I like it.
For a grown man to sit down on that stool, boy, it makes you feel like you're flying in the cockpit. It really does. Like that was what I wanted with it, to sit down on it. And
John's in the chat.
No, it's not. It's an imposter. Look at the way the name's spelled.
Oh, Juan.
No, Jahan.
Yeah, Jahan.
Yeah, it's
Ban.
You get this.
I was gonna say, give us screw caps.
And so okay, so here's another. The Tinkerer in the chat room. He says I bought a set of liquid paint pens to color the ends of the screws and the inside of the screw holes, and that works really well. Oh, that's interesting. That's a good tip.
That is interesting, yeah.
That's too much work.
Well,
I mean, if you get up close to it, you'd probably still notice, but from a distance, you probably never notice the difference.
There's times I forget bolts up near the freaking marquee because they got so many flipping ones when you have to put it all together and you lay the piece down on the top and you're kind of doing you're doing one of these numbers to it and you're getting it to drop on with and then and then you're laying down getting it all in, and some of them you put on before, some of them you put on after, and in fact I think my Tron's missing a screw up near the marquee, so I'm gonna have to take a look at that. But yeah, I mean, right now, it's the slow period for all these companies, right? We came off of CES, we came off the end of the year.
Right
now
all
the big
is
announcements.
modding season. This is modding season.
When is when's the next train show? The one in San Diego at E3. When's that one at? Is that like May?
Yeah, well, E3 is not till like June.
Is it June? Yeah, because I knew it was May or June. So that's probably the next time we'll hear anything. As far as any kind of releases, because with the shipping stuff and chip shortages and all that other stuff, and it's probably going to be a while before we get anything kind of new.
COVID.
Yeah, if you want to say COVID, but I think that
the deluxes are supposed to come out around spring.
Oh, did they give a date on the deluxes?
They said around spring for those, and the Casino-cade late spring, early summer. So
okay, late spring.
Those
may
be the next things we see. Maybe we'll get some announcements around then for the next thing after that. But we'll see. I'm still holding out hope that we may hear something on Time Crisis.
MG, he's got the best one of all right here. He says, I use spackle on mine. Then I sand it. Then I fill it. Then I sand it with 100 or 1,000 grit. Excuse me.
Wow.
Then I paint it. I take my screw holes seriously. Do you put Loctite on it?
Oh, that's the real question.
19K Fox puts Loctite on his. You got to make sure you put Loctite on before you spackle.
Yeah. Then when you want to if you need to take the cabinet apart, you need a crowbar.
Right. And so Rainwater goes on to say, he says, I like the look of the exposed screws. I even add an extra screw to my Arcade 1-Up cabs just for the looks. Now the trolls are in full force. We're having they're having some fun with this. Okay, so Jamie Loken says you mail your screws to me and I color them for $49.98, but shipping is free. So there you go. Listen, Jade, you said it takes too much time. Jamie's offering you a deal. The deal of the century.
I'm jumping right on that.
Are you writing it down?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Hobby Hand says you can also use oven baked clay. It comes in a lot of colors.
Play-Doh.
Listen, you get Loctite and screw caps all in the same.
Yep.
I'm a very tender spackler, I've been told. Jeez. Well, guys, I think that's about it for tonight. I think we've got everything wrapped up. I mean, for slow news week, we wanted to kind of put this stuff out. And I know a lot of you guys like the home arcades, the real arcades, and we're trying to mix everything in, especially when there's not a lot to talk about. So we figured, I think we accomplished that tonight. So we're going to wrap this up. Jade, do you have a video coming out this week at all?
No.
Live stream?
I don't know.
YouTube.com/Shelion Gaming. Once you get over 1,000 subscribers, you tend to not do any more videos. It's the way it works. Jade's in that funk right now. Bill, do you have a video coming out this week?
No.
See?
I'm kidding.
See? I just proved my point.
I'm kidding.
As
a matter of fact, I'm hoping this weekend to get to. I want to do like an unboxing and build on the Build-A-Cade.
Nice.
And then I've got a couple of more things in the works on it. I actually just picked up a different board. I have the Raspberry Pi, which is definitely going to go in it.
Okay.
But I picked up a I don't know if you guys know what Potato is. It's another one of these Pi type boards.
Okay.
And I was talking to Glenn about it, and he's not sure if it'll work in it, but I want to test it out and see.
Oh, nice.
Wait, because it was only $35, so it's a cheaper board, but it's supposed to be comparable to a Raspberry Pi.
Okay. Well, keep us posted because I think the community, especially with how hard it is to get a Raspberry Pi and get it at a decent price. It'll be nice to know. Keep us posted on that as well. So you guys can check him out. Go to youtube.com/Bill's Retro Gaming Show, and you pretty much follow him everywhere. What that is. Me, of all people, I actually put out a video today. Can you believe that? I did an unboxing video. If you didn't get to check it out, with the new PlayStation controller that everybody keeps telling me I overpaid for, you can check out the unboxing for that. I think people are just jealous. That's what I think. No, I'm just kidding. And then I'm going to do a follow-up review. So it's not a review. Don't watch it thinking like, oh, he didn't mention this. It's not a review, just an unboxing. I want to play with it for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and see if it was worth the money. If I feel it was worth the money. And then kind of go for that. Hopefully next week we got some more information, more news for you guys. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let us know in the comments what you want us to talk about. And we'll see you next week. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Great show again, as always. It's twice the most loved show. Why are you guys still here? The show's over. Go home. We'll be back next week. Like, seriously, go. If you want to hang out, fine, but I'm going to bed. Have a good night.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.